Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
You want to hear something exciting?
What's that?
I won $150 on a scratch ticket.
Oh,
Nice.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, technically 2 scratch tickets, and technically Hana won the $100 on a $1 scratch ticket.
Wow.
A $1 scratch ticket, $100.
That is
Yeah, right here.
that is very rare for a
That's
one.
very rare.
You got the
$1
magic touch.
I mean, I've spent probably $10K on gambling on scratch tickets in my life. So no.
No, it's not the magic touch, it's just the shotgun approach.
Yeah.
One of these is bound to be right.
Yeah, if anything, it's worse because the fact that I win it all means that I keep doing it. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win, baby, and it's just like, yeah, once a year I'm like $20. Yes,
That's how gambling works, yeah.
I know, it's so fun.
mean,
They
You just-
set off a bunch of lights when you win, too.
You treat it as like I'm paying this dollar for the ability to daydream for like a
It's
little
for the
bit.
schools or whatever, right?
Supposedly.
Allegedly, but who
No,
can say?
nobody popped up.
Nobody checks them on that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nobody checks that claim.
No, and
We
I don't
really
want
should.
to.
I do think some of the portions do go to like education, just not as much as we think it should.
Probably not.
And it's all like, I don't know. Anyway, hello everyone.
Hello,
We're on an episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
It's a show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
And I'm guest Starline Hodge.
Hey!
Star.
How's it going?
Good. Making art, dealing with living in LA.
Fun.
All that.
Fun.
Two very
what,
easy, low-stress tasks to be managing.
Yeah. What kind of art? Butts? You doing butts?
I'm painting more butts.
Good.
And I'm supposed to have an art show in like 2 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm doing some fundraising for fertility stuff, so trying to make some extra cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know when the art show's happening. I like art shows.
Yeah, we'll do. It's tentatively set for August 15th, but it's not like checked like official yet, but August 15th.
Right on.
Is there a?
I should be alive.
Oh yeah, we should still be alive.
Yeah.
Is there a theme to this one? Did you do the Frasier one most recently?
I did the Frasier one most recently, and that one was me going, are there any black characters on this show? So I could draw
That's
them.
right.
And Kim Coles played Dr. Mary, so I drew her. And it
Yeah.
sold, so yay. So that was good.
Did you see MVB? He was there. The guy that does art for our channel.
Yes, I did. I think we met because he came up.
Did you fight?
No, we didn't fight. we both lamented about like how like crowded the space was. We were like, oh shit, this is a lot of people.
Yeah. There's too many of them.
Yeah,
people.
really. We should do something about that.
We could have less.
But
Do you
But
have other plugs? Any links or anything you want to hit up top?
up top, go to starlinearts.com. That's where you could purchase butt paintings and stickers and prints and things like that. And that's mostly it for now. I might end up having to do a GoFundMe a little later in a couple months or so. We'll see. But for now, just buy my art, and then maybe I don't have to do the GoFundMe, and it'll be good.
Yeah, buy art! It's cool!
Starline Arts Not Star. I looked up Starline farts. There's nothing.
No.
Nothing for
No,
Starline farts.
you should get on
No,
that
that's-
domain though.
That would be probably my OnlyFans if I ended up ever having to do that.
You could sell the butt paintings at Starline Farts. It writes
Oh,
Oh
itself.
my
is
god, that's
true.
such a good idea.
Yeah.
That is true.
Thank you so much for being on. Are you excited about movies?
I am, especially this like batch of trailers that you sent my way. I was like, oh, good. Like these are up my alley.
I did not mean to do this too. I'm like, oh, this is mostly animation.
I feel like
this
you
week.
always say that to Star, but this time it's like with a different inflection. Normally it's like, I didn't do this on purpose. But now this time it's like, I
it's
didn't do
usually
this
like
on
a bunch
purpose.
of horror movies. Yeah, it's usually like,
Not a
all the
chainsaw
worst
in
horrors.
sight today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was only one horror one. I was just like, oh my gosh, this
Yep.
is so nice for me.
Well, I mean, before we get into it, we have to thank some producers, so let's do that.
Let's do it.
Big old thank you to @NerdNumbers.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you to Zero Charisma.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to 2001, A Space McNulty Odyssey.
Thank you.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you to AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you to Star Deserves More Hype McGuire.
Hey!
Did I say his first name? Andrew Star. Yeah, you get it.
get it.
Thank you to Andrew Howard demands a single act of kindness. No. Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you. All right, let me swoop in here. Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank
Thank
you.
you to Bootler Bootlison.
Thank
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
Thank
Thank you to Burrito Wants you to drink water, hit the gym, and do the ska, because they loves y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank
Thank you
you.
to Christopher Robert Sparks, Esquire.
Thank
And
you.
thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Those were, thanking is courtesy, which is an act of kindness. Those were several acts of kindness. So, you're welcome, Andrew Howe.
Let's talk about this. This is technically not a trailer. The
It's like a
trailer,
clip, yeah.
yeah, the trailer doesn't exist. But I figured, yeah, fuck it, because this just came out of nowhere. This is apparently, the first live-action full-length Looney Tunes movie.
Live action?
Live action?
Not live action. Sorry, opposite. Cartoon. Meaning that whenever
Fully
there's a Looney
animated.
Tunes movie, fully animated. That's the word. It's always like, yeah, Michael Jordan is there or whatever.
Right.
This is the day the Earth blew up. A Looney Tunes movie
I mean,
about.
yeah, if it comes to theaters, yeah.
This wasn't supposed to be the one that got like nixed the Roadrunner one, right? Like that's
No.
not
No,
tied
that's-
to this.
That's, what is it? Coyote v. Roadrunner or something? Coyote v. Acme.
Yeah. That was like a courtroom drama, which sounds fucking awesome. Would have been cool.
That's based-
Would have been cool.
Based on a New Yorker article from 1990. It's like those short imagined monologues from McSweeney's. It's pretty funny. You can find it online. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
But this is about Daffy Duck and Porky Pig fighting off aliens. An alien invasion. Not Marvin the Martian. It looks like
That
there's
is whack. That it's
That
not
is
Marvin.
Yeah.
weird that it's not Marvin
Yeah, why wouldn't it be Marvin?
or the
I don't know.
Monstars.
If you look at the
Particularly
poster,
with these two, right? When they did Duck Dodgers, wasn't Porky his co-pilot or sidekick?
Yes.
I mean, maybe Marvin will be there.
We can hope. We can hope.
Yeah. But I guess they're roommates. Is this new? Is this new thing?
They've made them roommates before in like the TV series where it's like Bugs and Daffy and they all kind of live together in like that relatively new remake.
Yeah, didn't they do almost like what am I comparing it to? Where it's like they play the actors of like they play like themselves, like living together. Was that the vibe
Yeah,
of it?
it
Like
was like
almost like a Muppets
sitcom-y.
thing.
It was kind of very sitcom-y, like, oh, we're all like living together. It's very Friends-esque, but it's Looney Tunes, so it's wacky.
Right.
So like them living together, I was just like, oh, okay, like this is just like another version of that. I'm not surprised. Also, they did it with
Yeah, I
Tiny
guess so.
Toons too.
Oh, word.
Oh, okay.
The animation kind of looks similar to that one too, although this one looks way more like the traditional Warner Brothers, which I'm super into.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a little cleaner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
A little more modern.
I'm
looks
down
like
to go
more
see
money.
it just I'm down to go see it just so that 2D animation movies get like some type of money to be like, hi, no, we're interested. I would like for this like style and like type of movie to come back and not just be anime, which even though I love anime, but American 2D animation should also still be around as well. Like, I think it's only the Japanese and the French are like the big ones. And
yeah, it's nice to see it again for sure.
Yeah, this is cool. I'll probably watch this. I love the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's not Bugs and Daffy. Like that's the iconic duo.
Yeah, I mean Bugs has got to be in this later, right? If it's just
you'd think he's the money bunny. You'd think they'd put him up front.
Right.
He is the money bunny. It's very weird. Like that was my impression. I was like, I don't feel like Porky Pig and Daffy Duck like hang out. Like I don't know. I didn't like let alone live together.
I was really searching my brain when you wrote that in the notes, and I didn't remember Duck Dodgers until we started talking about it. But that's like the only other time. Like usually Porky's paired with Sylvester. I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, of the two to have like a big pink ass, I didn't think it would be Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be the pig.
Daffy strips his like feathers a lot though.
It does happen a strangely large number of times.
He does that a lot, so I'm just like, all right, like.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You can see his crack.
Unhinged, yeah. You almost see the anus.
Yeah,
like
you almost see Daffy's
it's very
anus.
explicit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of these days.
So I understand why it's rated R.
Right.
I wonder if this is going to be like their version of a Goofy movie, because like when Goofy movie came out, they're like, why Goofy? You know, it wasn't Mickey, it wasn't Donald, it wasn't like
because Goof Troop.
Yeah, Goof Troop. But even then, that was so like, why wasn't Mickey having a cartoon? Like they didn't use their like main guy.
Yeah, I wonder if that was like some sort of weird strategy where it was like, no, we got to save the big gun for like when we want to do like a big short, like a theatrical short or a movie or something. But we can put Pluto in his own series. Who cares about Pluto?
Does Mickey have like a son that he can have like?
Mickey has nephews.
I don't remember what their names are. Fred, is that one?
Oh, I don't remember.
Probably. That's real weird. It's weird, real weird.
He definitely has nephews, just like Donald has nephews, because no one could have direct children.
Right. They can't imply that these cartoon characters are fucking.
Except Goofy.
Yeah, Goofy fucks. Is he a widower?
Yes. He's apparently a widower.
Jesus Christ.
That is almost certainly canon. Is that Goofy's wife is dead.
Christ. I love it that they looked at him and they're like, he looks like a widower to me. And I get it. I kind of get it. Like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
How'd she die?
I wonder if the reason they're doing...
Were they doing one of his slapstick like sports videos and she fell off?
Yeah.
Did she do the
Oh, she 100% did.
She fell off the cliff.
I think they go with, because I think of Bugs and I'm like, Bugs is like, it's in my head, this is the same reason why they have to nerf like Vision for the Avengers.
You gotta nerf Bugs.
Because Bugs is like can do anything, so they need an underdog, and so they're like, all right, let's get Porky and Daffy, because it's like they could die. They could die in this. They're in danger.
I feel like Porky could.
Those aliens.
Porky could definitely die. I think Daffy has that same like weird like, oh, you're weirdly immortal for like all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
He's got the screwball power, yeah.
But yeah, this I'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's coming out, I think, August. Next one, also I guess animated. This is I assume CGI. It looks like CGI.
Yeah.
Piece by Piece. This is the
Pharrell Williams biopic.
Pharrell Williams Lego biopic.
What an idea. That's such a fun idea.
Truly. Yeah.
It is it really is.
It's just a Lego movie with him and Snoop Dogg, and there's a bunch of people in it. It looks really fun.
It must have been hard because you have to go to Lego, right? Like those
Wasn't
Lego
that hard? Pharrell Williams came to them and was like, I want to make my movie in Lego. You guys cool with that? They're like, yes.
I'm like,
yes,
yeah, but I'm sure they had certain conditions where they're like, when Snoop Dogg is on, like, you can't be smoking anything.
Probably, yes.
Like there's probably certain like rules for Lego.
There might be.
It's really funny to watch people like Snoop Dogg become like Mickey Mouse, basically.
Yeah,
he's been Mickey Mouse. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Isn't there like a Jurassic Park Lego game, and like they took out all of the like gore.
Yeah, they made like Muldoon and the Raptor fight over a hot dog. They take out all the violence and stuff. It's
so
very...
maybe something similar with all like the weed for it. It'll be like they're like eating hot dogs instead of smoking weed, and that'll be really funny.
He does turn into an actual dog in this trailer.
Well, he did in his music videos back in the day. Like,
right, I remember, it's his first album.
That's his power.
Man, he's been Mickey Mouse for a while, but Snoop Dogg has been around he's an institution unto himself is what we mean when we say he's Mickey Mouse.
His partnership with Martha Stewart kind of like solidified that. It was just like after that point, it was just like, oh, he's just Uncle now. He's just Uncle Snoop. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's just like a pop culture figure now.
It feels like he managed to make weed legal for himself like a decade before everybody else. Does that make sense?
Followed the Tom
where he's
Petty
just
route.
like
Willie Nelson.
He's just like a Mickey Mouse. He's weed Mickey Mouse, where he's just like, it's my thing.
Like, what are you are you really gonna pull Snoop Dogg over? Come on.
Right, I feel like he could smoke weed in a church,
in an airport.
Like he could smoke, in an airport. In the I'm sure he probably has smoking weed in the White House.
Absolutely.
I almost guarantee it.
Are you gonna tell him to stop?
No. But this is because we talk about biopics being like when they're about someone famous like this. That you start with, we're going to make a biopic about them, and then you decide. You discover if it's going to be interesting. But like the decision is, let's make a biopic first, and then see if it's interesting. And this is a great way where it's like, I wish they did this for any biopic, where when they're like going through their life, they're like, this isn't interesting. Let's just Lego them. Let's just make them a Lego. Like that's such a good solution to a biopic.
It reminded me of like the Weird Al one, where it was just like, of course, yours is like a parody of a biopic. That is brilliant, and that makes absolute sense.
Yeah, this is like it's and this looks.
It's like it's like the Chuck Barris way of making a biography, right? Yeah. You just make up a bunch of fantastic lies about yourself.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is this looks fairly honest because it's more internal. It feels like it's more about like his feelings as an artist, which is a great way to do a biopic when like, because normally that's not that interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
To explain who you are as an artist, it's like every artist feels a certain way. There's a reason they became an artist. So being like, I want to show you all it in Lego form, it makes it, I don't know, way more appealing.
I agree.
Yeah. There's something about like how music is like it's about like collecting influences from everywhere and making Legos. It's about just like taking random pieces from different sets and putting them together to make something new. And does anybody know does he have synesthesia? Because it seems like they do something like that in the trailer where he's like seeing the that's also how he's describing how he experiences music. Like he sees colors. And
I wouldn't be surprised if he has that. Like that would make sense because. Of all the artists to do kind of this thing, I was just like Pharrell saying like I want a Lego movie. I'm like, yeah, of course you do.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. I don't know many other artists who like if that was what they wanted, it would feel like, oh yeah, of course, obviously. And I've been trying to rack my brain over it. I'm like, who else has that like energy?
Because you might, I could see a world where if the wrong person did this, people would receive it like, oh, they're selling out and making a Lego movie out of their life.
Yeah.
Like, but for him, it's so perfect.
I wonder if we'll get more of these. Who would you want to see another Lego biopic for?
Papa John.
I was gonna say Kurt Cobain.
Oh my God!
Kurt Cobain Lego movie.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, that would be very, very confusing.
Oh man.
Oh man! I like my first thought was Britney Spears, but I was just like,
ooh.
But I just kept into like the music of it all, you know.
Right.
But
man, we could do Lincoln, Lego Lincoln.
Well, you'd have to do Lincoln Logs.
Yeah,
Lincoln Logs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have to do Lincoln Logs. Yeah, this looks delightful. This is one of those where I'm like, I'm glad someone's doing it. I hope they don't make 20 more of these.
Yeah.
I do like Lego expanding out like this. Like I want to start like, okay, Lego biopic, cool. What else can we make Lego
Oh,
versions
Lego
want-
of?
erotic thriller.
Can I
Yeah,
throw
a
in
Lego horror.
I want to throw in, what about a Muppets biopic? I want someone
That would be cool.
to do their biopic all with Muppets.
Oh, hell
There's
yeah.
been a few of those, that like meme going around where it's like, what movie would you replace
yeah.
everybody with Muppets except for one person? You could do that where the person like the biopic is about is the only non-Muppet or something like that.
They keep saying that for the
I mean-
Knives Out series, and I'm like, yes, please do that. Please.
Oh, that would be
Please.
really, and it's just Benoit Blanc that's
Yes.
not a Muppet.
Yes.
God, that would be funny.
That would be so
I want it
good.
Really
so
good.
bad, and
Yeah.
every time there's a new one that comes out, I'm like, is this the Muppet version? Because
Yeah, because he seems like a Muppet character, like a live
He's
action
pretty
Muppet
cartoonish.
guy. Yeah, Yeah,
So yeah, piece by piece, this looks like fun.
yeah,
yeah.
Let's move
What
on.
are we at? What?
I said, let's move on.
The Decameron?
Yes, the Decameron.
This is Tony Hale. This is one where I didn't know anything about this
yeah. I didn't know
but
either.
this trailer. And the trailer is like a bunch of foppish,
it's like the Italian
old-timey,
Canterbury
fancy.
Tales.
Yeah, and they're all like fucking and partying and then dying of some sort of plague. And I was like, yeah,
The
old-timey,
plague.
yeah, old-timey stuff. It's
Yeah.
old-timey stuff.
I
It's-
wrote like gritty Bridgerton. Like, what is this? I was so confused. I was like, is this supposed to be like still Bridgerton vibes, but showing the actual like horror and diseases that were going around in the same era that you don't see in the main romance show?
Man, it's a dope-ass trailer. It's just frenetic cuts of all this stuff with a weird interpolated version of Blue Monday by New Order. So that's a pretty dope trailer. I actually know this book. It's the Italian Canterbury Tales. The premise is it's a bunch of people who are hiding, basically quarantining themselves from the Black Plague in like a country manor house, and they're telling each other stories. So like it's a framing device, and the book is actually I think it's 100 stories, and they run the gamut of comedy and tragedy and grotesqueness. There's a lot of vomiting in this trailer.
It's a pandemic film,
Yeah.
or a show,
Yeah.
because it's a TV show. I assume it's an anthology where every episode's a different story or whatever.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this trailer is freaking awesome. Like this,
It's a really good trailer.
this would have grabbed me, I think, even if I wasn't familiar with what the book is.
Well, it gives you the vibes without telling you anything about it.
Right.
really does.
And that is,
It's-
I was looking up who made it. It's no one familiar.
Huh.
So I don't know. That's not a hit. That's just is what it is. Tony Hale is the most recognizable person in it.
Yeah, I didn't even see him. I missed him. So,
Yeah, when you
Oh,
said
yeah,
that, I
he's
was just
covered
like,
in
where
shit.
was he?
right, I was like, he was?
You can see him. You can see him. He's in there. He's just all
believe
fancy
you.
up. He's got a beard. He's got a beard.
Oh, that's
It's weird.
why.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
It's like a beard.
Yeah.
Man,
it's
he could
fucked
he could
up.
be directly. He could be 2 inches in front of me with a full beard, and I wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
recognize him through it.
But yeah, it's a good trailer because it's basically like dancing and fucking and then like drinking and then you just see a little bit of
Vomiting,
like
some
and then you see
blood.
some coughing up blood and you're like, oh, okay, it's some sort of plague shit going on here.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, okay, Bridgerton does this too, where it's just like, oh, like they're at a ball and they're playing modern music, but it's like all violin-y. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I was just like, wait, they're getting sick.
Oh,
So
I haven't seen Bridgerton, but
it's
that sounds like
it's fluff. It's a fluff
right. It
of a
sounds
show.
similar to the Marie Antoinette movie. Did that too,
Yeah.
where they had like the modern.
Yeah, but
They
it's all
got married
modern
to
music.
The Cure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all modern music, but like in the last season, like I won't say characters, I don't know who's watching, but like one of like the pivotal moments where these two characters are finally about to fuck and they play Pitbull, like, but like with violins, it's like you're like, wait, what? Wait, that's Pitbull?
Oh, that's great.
So
Mr. Worldwide.
It's a good choice.
It's just played by chamber musicians. He has to be one of them. Give him a violin.
and it works. It works really well. It's just like, oh wow, like you're really into the scene, like.
Oh man,
It is
that sounds
it's a
awesome.
good choice when you're trying to kind of show that nothing ever changes with people and stuff like that. Like using modern music to sort of
But yeah.
remind people.
It helps
Yeah.
you connect to them pretty immediately too.
Yeah. It's a good idea. And yeah, this looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for this one. This looks really cool.
Yeah.
Just the trailer, it's like the Alien trailer. It's like that good.
Yeah, and there's not much to say about it other than because it's so short and sweet.
Yeah, let's move on.
Speaking of people dying, Starve Acre. This was on my short list for more hype, but I spoilers, there's a cartoon that I did this time, so I was like, well, I still got to put this on here. This is Matt Smith in a it's gothic horror. It's folk horror, the thing we are just obsessed with right now.
It's the witch, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's real spooky.
Yeah, I think it's a possession.
It's hard to tell exactly what it's. This trailer's mostly vibes, but I'm digging it.
But they're implying that there is a monster of some kind.
Like a monster that's something.
This is the plot says that just a couple is thrown into turmoil when their son starts acting out of character. That's why I was like, oh, it's got to be some sort of fucking possession or something, but there's really no way to know.
But yeah, and I was just like, okay, it's just more spooky vibes, and then they did show a little bit of gore, and I was just like, and it's the gross kind of gore that I am just, well, it's just skin stuff. I don't like skin stuff in particular. I was like, oh.
I watched The Curse recently. Is that what it's called? Or Curse? The new one that was...
This one with... Which one?
Or Curse? Not Nathan Fielder.
Okay, that was I watched
There's too many of these. There's I was going to say the werewolf one, but there's two werewolf ones called Curse or The Curse. Hold on. I'm going to look up. It's... God damn it. I found The Curse 2004. That's the Christina Ricci one.
That's the Wes Craven movie.
The Cursed. They've been cursed. So it's called The Cursed. That was also a gothic horror. That's all.
Oh, that was a year. That was like a year or two ago, right?
Yeah. Did you ever watch it?
No. I want to though. I was on my list.
I finally watched it, and it was gnarly as shit.
Sweet.
All right, it was a lot of fun. It was more like The Thing than I expected it. Than I thought it would be. That's an
awesome idea for a werewolf movie.
It's more. There's more body horror. This is all to say, a starred. You should not see The Cursed.
No, absolutely not.
And it's gnarly in multiple ways, and so it's just like, it paid off. I'm
digging these gothic folk horror type movies, and there seems to be it's kind of like a trend that's picking up steam. And
they're cheap.
Yeah,
they're like, just build a fucking cabin, get in the woods, you got yourself a gothic horror.
I think people just underestimate or maybe forgot about how appealing that is as a setting for horror, because think of how the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books took off with all of us as kids, and it's that weird creepy ass art, and it's like folk tale aspect to it. I just think it's more appealing than maybe they realize. I don't know. It is very cheap. Horror's very cheap too.
Are the bad guys usually like monster, or is it man, or is it like weather?
Both.
It can be
a lot of them are
the
curses.
Above.
Yeah, a lot of them have to do with to me it's like revenge or retribution often, or like, I don't know. The witch kicked it off, and you look at the witch and you're like, yeah, that kind of embodies it all, because one, no cell phones, obviously. Two, low light, so it's always creepy even during the day. It can be rainy and foggy, so it just builds the atmosphere. And then, the first thing that happens in The Witch is they just go off into the wilderness. And that shot of them, going off into the woods, and you're just like, that's not good.
Yeah.
They can't even get to somebody out there. And that's what it is isolation is huge with these. You don't have to, write reasons why characters can't do certain things. And then also it's, weirdly puritanical, so people can be horrifying because of the attitudes of the time. And so it's just that I think it's kind of that this era, this general vibe era of old-timey was already terrifying without ghouls. And then you had ghouls.
I mean, there's a reason. So it's so many of those stories take place around that sort of time period. Colonialism. It's hard to parse exactly what this movie is about, but it looks good. Is that the lady from Lord of the Rings?
I don't know. Let me look her
Galadriel.
up. Oh, young Lord of the Rings.
New Lord of the Rings.
She does look like that. Yeah, it is. She's great in that.
Sweet. Well,
Yeah, she's really good at Galadriel, and she's that's a hard character because it's like she's just sort of angry
Oh yeah,
and serious, and I thought she did a really good job.
I like the new Lord of the Rings. I had a good time.
Me too.
I was like, this is fun.
I'm so excited. There's a second season coming
Oh good. I was worried that they weren't going to do it because people
Me
were like
too.
hating on it, and I'm like,
because it costed like $1 billion.
It sure did.
Yeah. It's legit. I really liked it, and there's like photos of some wizard that everybody's saying is what's his name?
is Gandalf?
Sauron.
Not Gandalf, the other one. Tom something or other. Is
Tom
that his name?
Bombadil. Oh yeah, he's in it.
Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people are like rumored that he's in it or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, here's
pretty
the thing:
excited
they
for
don't
that.
have to spend that much money. I would watch that show even if it was like a little bit more cheap looking. I honestly think it would make it more endearing.
Yes. Oh yeah, if they did it like 80s style with like 80s effects.
Yeah.
Tom, did you watch it? I know we're
No,
deviating
I
a little
haven't
bit.
watched it.
All I say is they picked one of the few times where I'm like, I do like this story. Like the era they're picking is like low stakes but high stakes for the characters, and you kind of know like shit's gonna hit the fan eventually, and it works. It works for a TV show.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Speaking of TV shows, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is based off the movie that came out.
Yeah, Mutant Mayhem.
Same. It at least appears to be the same voice actors, but I don't know.
I think they are. They sound. If not,
They sound the same.
Yeah.
And they clearly couldn't do the animation exactly from that.
No,
No,
that would have
it's
cost
a-
too much.
It's a
Yeah.
real stripped down version of it.
It is different people doing the voice, or at least I see Splinter as someone else.
Oh yeah, that was Jackie Chan in the movie.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's not gonna stick
But it
around.
reminds
Probably
me
not.
of like when Disney in the 90s were like, okay, Aladdin movie, Aladdin TV show, Little Mermaid,
Yep.
Little Mermaid TV show. And the quality definitely was not the same.
Yeah.
But they only got like some of the voice actors. They never got like the bigger stars. And so it's like, oh, this feels very 90s. This is probably going to be all right.
Yeah, I think this will be fun. I really like the fact that the Ninja Turtles doesn't feel. It always feels like it kind of builds upon itself more. Like this isn't a new villain; it's a remake of a villain. It seems like. The villain is
That's somebody named Bishop. It's not somebody I recognize.
Bishop is there's a dude named Bishop, Agent Bishop in the last cartoon series, but like I like that. Like I feel like a lot of existing IP they're like scared to add things anymore, and I like how like Mutant Mayhem, for example, kind of threw out a lot of stuff. Like they're just like Bebop and Rocksteady. Fuck it, let's make them good. You know, like shit like that.
Yeah,
where-
Ray
Yeah.
Fillet.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ray Fillet.
Like that was a lot of fun.
It was a fun movie,
That-
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of this. It's like splitting them off from each other, and they're all having their individual stories. It reminds me of some of the newer IDW comics that they've done. One of they tease in this one that Leo is going to have to go to a costume party in his own turtle outfit. You know, that's everybody's going to think it's a costume, and that is
They
one of
love
the
doing that. Yeah.
well, yeah, it's one of the short stories they did in the recent IDW comics. It was Michelangelo, but it was a fun story. So like I liked this version of the Turtles. It's hard to dislike the Turtles.
Yeah.
This
I love
is,
that they're
fun.
kids. I love that they're actually
Yes.
teenagers. Like true, like, oh, you guys
Yeah.
are awkward as fuck, and it's so good. And
I like that April O'Neil's a teenager
yeah.
too.
It made me very happy. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I love that they're not like 19, like about
Yeah.
to be 20 years old. And
The writer, or at least one of the writers on this, has done a lot. Ninja Turtles in the past has also did Thor Ragnarok. It looks like a couple of Thors, The Mandalorian. They're kind of a regular with TV. It's all to say that it looks like it's in good hands. Like it doesn't look like it's the same writers of the movie, but it's people who know the Ninja Turtles.
Sweet.
So that's cool.
This will be on Paramount Plus, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll watch a few of them.
And because it's
Yeah.
like a cartoon TV show, like it doesn't feel like the stakes for it are like super, super high either. It's just like, no, this is supposed to be fun and
Yeah.
silly. Like it's Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get a
I
grip.
think they
It's
went in the right
Turtles.
direction.
Settle down.
They've gone in the right direction since the Michael Bay stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where like
Even the second
they-
Michael Bay one was like, oh, we messed up. We should here's Bebop and
yeah,
Rocksteady.
they course correct in that one. And like I can see another live action Ninja Turtles, but I do think they have to be way more fun. And honestly, I kind of want to see some dudes in costumes. I know that's a nightmare. It was a nightmare then,
But it was
and it'll
cool.
be a nightmare now.
You know, let's put
But
some
that was fucking
karate
fun.
masters in 80-pound turtle suits.
Yeah,
I mean,
just having the worst
it kind
time
of needs
ever.
to be that. It truly does. Because
Yeah.
otherwise it's CGI, and if it's CGI in my head, I'm like, well, why aren't you just doing the 2D? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like,
true.
it
That's a
doesn't
good
need
point.
to-
Exactly.
just, yeah, give me
Yeah.
puppets. Give me puppets.
Puppets.
Yeah.
Oh,
It still looks cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We have our second trailer for The Wild Robot. This is from the Lilo and Stitch guy, the creator of
Oh.
Lilo and Stitch.
Oh,
Okay.
Chris Sanders?
Yeah. Which is all to say this will probably make us cry. Although they've done also just like straight up kids stuff. We covered the teaser for this, which seemed a little more like tear jerky because there was no
Yeah.
dialogue.
It seemed way more like, yeah.
Wally.
Yeah.
Wally
This
meets
one,
Iron Giant.
Yeah.
This one
This
looks...
they kind of show you the whole movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They sort of do. It looks good, but they do sort of show us the entire movie.
I kind of turned it off halfway because I was just like, oh no, this is one of those trailers. And I'm like, I do
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
go watch this. I turned it off.
It's got great cast. It's got Lupita Nyong'o and Pedro Pascal and Catherine O'Hara, and it's just like hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good voices.
Yeah.
I think Pedro Pascal is the fox.
Pretty
I
sure he's
assume?
the fox. Lupita's the robot, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that they do a cool thing where the animals start talking because the robot figures out what their sounds mean. So it's like a little like plot convenience, a little movie magic. But it's a fun way to do that in this trailer. But
Ooh, you know who's in this?
what?
Matt Berry. I've been saying like you need to stick him in more and more cartoons, right?
Yeah, it's
like you
perfect.
can't
Absolutely.
you
Out of
can't
the
take that
blue.
voice and not put in cartoons.
just ambush people with it.
Yeah,
Listen here, robots.
I think this will be a delightful movie, even if it's more by the book. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It still looks fun. I like when he bunts that little duck in the.
Oh yeah. It's like,
in the
it's like
fucking-
teach him how to
just-
swim. It's like my
Yeah.
parents did. Kicks him in there. Swim.
Shoves him in there.
It's going to be so cute. And it'll be sweet. And it's like, it's nice. I need more nice movies.
Yeah.
At least right now.
For me, I was looking at this and I'm like, I can't believe the Lilo and Stitch guy is not doing things for Disney. Like, that's nuts to me that they're just
That's
Disney,
Disney.
didn't like
Yeah, Disney-
throw all the money. Exactly, where it's like Disney
He did
fucked
2
up, and I'm
movies
looking
for
at
them. He
this.
did Mulan. He was like the lead art design for Mulan.
Right,
And then he did Lilo and Stitch, which Lilo and Stitch wasn't supposed to do well.
right, because it's Disney. They don't think things like that will. Disney feels like they've kind of lost it a little bit, like
I
their
mean, this
sense
is
of
20
what.
years ago, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
They already had, yeah. I see what you mean.
yeah, that's what. Like they seem to be off on like knowing what's a hit or what people want from these, and then it's just like he just moved on, and now DreamWorks snatched him up, and I don't know.
He did the
I haven't
designs
seen-
for How to Train Your Dragon. He's the so
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, and as soon as he did that for DreamWorks, they're like, you were never leaving us.
right,
We will
DreamWorks,
we will do anything
it's-
to keep you happy. Oh my god.
right. Like DreamWorks seems like the smarter. Like I don't really watch their movies, but that's because it feels like they're making them for kids.
Right.
And they're not really like
I've
they're
only
just
seen-
chugging along.
I haven't seen too many of them, but that first How to Train Your Dragon was pretty good.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon, great. The second one was fine. Did they do Kung Fu Panda as well?
Oh, you're right, they did.
know.
I really liked Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I liked Kung
He
Fu
did
Panda.
the Croods. Anybody see the Croods?
No.
I did not see the Croods.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I did
With
not see the
Zendaya as
Croods.
Michi.
Is that?
Is that-
think
that's
it's-
from-
I
that is
think
where
it's
that's
from that
from.
movie. I think it's from that movie.
I see Emma Stone's in this. Nicolas Cage is in the Croods.
He's the dad, yeah.
Fuck! I'm gonna see the Croods.
I think it was just.
Nicolas
I think it
Cage.
just when it came out, it was just like average. Like there wasn't anything like super
Right.
special about it. But
Yeah.
I like also that DreamWorks tries different stories too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. DreamWorks seems like they're just like quietly doing the right thing, and just making like movies for kids that are yeah. I don't know. Meanwhile, Disney is in fact doing a live action fucking Lilo and Stitch right now.
Sure
Which
they are.
is like
The thing they didn't even want to make, it sounds like.
Ugh.
And it's going to be colorless, if any indication. Stitch is going to look terrifying. I believe it's the director of Marcel the Shell with shoes on. So it's going to be like real bleak looking and like, it's just like, come on, Disney.
yeah,
Ugh.
it's just. Which is, I'm really surprised they're doing that because, like, Stitch is, like, at least, like, in Japan, Stitch is, like, the #1 Disney character.
He's great.
And I'm surprised they're gonna even, like, tamper with that IP. Because
Yeah.
if they make Stitch ugly, like, that's not gonna sell a lot of dolls and toys.
No.
And it's...
Now, I kind of imagine he'll just look like a photorealistic version of the cartoon. It is Chris Sanders doing the voice of Stitch. So, I mean, that makes sense because
Yeah.
he was the voice in the first.
At least they had the
so they-
decency to ask him back for that.
Yeah, exactly.
He probably has some type of clause, like he was able to get that because it's like voice acting and it wasn't like animation. It's just like, no, as a voice actor, this is my character.
Yeah.
I've been drawing him since I was in high school. This is mine.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not taking this shit away. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so far, I'm trying to think of a live-action Disney where I'm like, yeah, they nailed it there. And I'm just blanking on that.
Pete's Dragon. But
Jungle
that,
Book.
That wasn't a
Mary
fully
Poppins.
animated to begin with.
Mary Poppins.
Not the new one, but the, the classic.
Oh, I meant a remake, a live-action remake.
Oh, live action
I haven't seen the
remake?
new Mary Poppins. I kind of want to.
Yeah,
looked
none of the
unhinged.
live action remakes I've seen have been like.
Yeah, I think
Actually-
the Jungle Book is probably the best one.
Yeah.
I guess does Haunted Mansion count? Because Haunted Mansion was fun.
It wasn't.
one?
It
The
wasn't.
one or the old one?
It wasn't an animated thing though. It's the ride.
Right. The Eddie Murphy one or the
No, the newer one.
Lakeith?
Yeah.
And Danny DeVito.
Yeah. I liked that new one. I didn't think I would, and I liked
Yeah,
it. It was
same.
fun.
I was just like, oh, this wasn't so bad. This was a nice, good Halloween-y movie.
It was easy to kind of squint pretend Jared Leto wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
And yeah, Lakeith Stanfield's really good in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like playing it really subdued in a funny way, where it's like he's like tired
Yeah.
in a way that like you'd think would be bad for the movie, but it actually made the movie kind of like fun.
Well, he always finds something weird and interesting to do.
Yeah. He's playing like kind of like he's just given up. Like it's part of he's a widower, right? And so it's part of his character where it's like he's just ready for death is kind of his whole vibe. I gotta rewatch that. That was fun.
I
Yeah,
need to check it out. I guess I really liked the trailers.
It was
Yeah.
it was really good. Like it was like, oh, this is appropriately spooky, like old school Disney. It fits in with the Hocus Pocus era of like October movies to watch.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Danny DeVito was great. I forgot about him. He was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Owen Wilson is having a lot of fun. He's being a real Owen Wilson in it. Rosario Dawson is great in it. Everybody's having fun.
So anyway,
So-
this is the Wild Robot.
The Wild Robot.
Uh,
Let's talk about Paddington in Peru.
What else is there to say? It's a third Paddington movie.
Okay, so I need to see Paddington.
You need to see a Paddington.
I haven't seen any of the Paddingtons either.
That surprises me. I didn't see them until recently. I saw them on an airplane last year. I watched both of them back to back.
I heard Paddington 2 is incredible, and
It's really good. They're both really good.
I've only heard like the hype around them, and so part of me is now it's to the point where I'm like, I've only heard incredible things. So now I'm
hype-
like, if I watch it, is it going to be as good as everyone's? It's like this is one of the best movies.
I think it will because the hype is how perfectly wholesome it is. Like it's just such a sweet, affirming, pleasant, warm hug of a movie. Like,
And the deal is that he's just
he's just
like
a bear.
fucking bear.
He's just a
the bear
bear.
from Peru.
I just learned who did the voice of Paddington.
Ben Whishaw, I think.
Yeah, I just realized where I know him from the most, which is Perfume. Remember Perfume, the story of a murderer?
It's
No.
the Nirvana song "Scentless Apprentice" is about that person.
Really?
I think it's a real life person.
It's a really weird, dark
Oh.
film about a guy who's killing women to get their scents, and it's played by Paddington, the murderer. It's from the director of Run Lola Run.
Oh, okay.
Who also did Cloud Atlas, is something I learned way later.
Yeah.
But
Run Lola Run
it's
just
a
hit
fucking-
their 25th anniversary. They had like a special for it in
Oh, sweet.
somewhere in LA. They had like a thing, and the actress came out and talked about it. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Paddington fucking murdering I believe sex workers for their smells so he can have an orgy. There's an orgy scene. It's a lot. The movie's a lot. I need to rewatch it.
Sounds like a lot. Anyway, Paddington.
Have you not seen
Peru. No,
Yeah,
I'm
Paddington,
aware
Peru.
of this story, like of the real life person that did that was trying to find like the hit anyway. But I've not seen the film.
movie is very let's say loosely based off. It seems like
Doesn't it have Alan Rickman in it too?
yeah, he's part of the orgy.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's going all quills. Oh wait, that's Jeffrey Rush. But you get it.
Alan Rickman would walk into a room and be like, "I'm going to go all quills."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In the corner over there.
Anyway, Paddington's going to Peru, and that sounds neat.
Yeah, his auntie is gone, so he has to go on an adventure to find her.
Aww.
You know?
Poor little bear.
I forget what happens to his folks.
I thought he was. It's not like a
I
Stuart
don't know.
Little situation where he's just adopted.
He might be, like, he has two bear parents in Peru, but he gets separated from them in this. I forget. They show you in the second movie. Anyway.
So here's something to be lightly upset about. This isn't from the director of Paddington.
I know. It's a new person.
Yeah. Yeah, so all bets are off. This could be when they sell out, where they're like, all right. It is from the writer of Paddington 2, it looks like. Or at least one of them is credited. But it's like 3 people. I mean, the other one is did Chicken Run and fucking Wallace and Gromit, the Were-Rabbit.
Oh, but those
So
Wallace and Gromit are usually pretty solid.
yeah, they know how to make something delightfully British. It seems like they all... Oh, and the other one wrote Your Highness, or was in Your Highness, it looks like. That's fucking weird. And also did Paddington 2. So, yeah, it's in decent hands, at least for the writing. It seems like it's the same people who know how to make things
Sweet.
delightfully British.
Oh, cool.
Olivia Colman in there. Was she in the other Paddingtons?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
She feels like she was made for a Paddington.
Really? Yeah.
Paddington was a toy originally, right?
It's a book.
It's just the book?
a book.
Okay. You know what I'm thinking
It's not
of?
the button, right?
I'm thinking of Teddy Ruxpin. I'm thinking of like 80s, like the bear with the cassette tape in his chest.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like,
Interesting.
I had one of those, and I'm like, is that the same bear? Like, I can't. I was like, no.
No. Who's the motherfucker with the button?
The button?
Corduroy.
Corduroy. Thank you.
Corduroy, that's right.
And then, why were there so many? Because there's also the Velveteen Rabbit.
Velveteen Rabbit.
Velveteen
there's
Rabbit.
That
That's
fucker
great.
almost got torched.
Super
I
Ted.
remember that.
It's because he was all doused with scarlet fever, bro.
Did his human die? Did the Paddington's rabbit child die?
No, I think the child recovered.
Did I say Paddington? Velveteen.
You said the Paddington Rabbit, yeah.
Oh.
It's all blurring
The
together.
Velveteen Rabbit, the kid, I think, recovered, but they had to, like, burn all their stuff.
Right.
Couldn't
Because
keep
they
the
didn't
rabbit,
want
yeah.
it. And that was part of it.
But he stays. He, like, doesn't, like, a kid find him at the end, and I assume that kid
And
dies?
then that kid dies of scarlet fever.
Yeah. All right.
He's a smallpox blanket, Dave. That's the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I would get that
amazing.
confused with Peter Rabbit, so I always thought Peter Rabbit was also the same as the
It's like this
Velveteen.
grim
It was a
ass
mess.
story.
Yeah, it's too much.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's talk about Sausage Party Foodtopia, which apparently they're all back.
Yeah, all the cast of
it's-
Sausage Party is back for this miniseries.
It looks slightly animation looks cheaper than Sausage Party, so I just sort of assumed that no one was back for this, and they're all
They're all
back.
I mean,
back.
it's a day's worth of work, you know? Collect that
That's
paycheck.
true.
I remember the original one was kind of one of the first movies that came out about horrible crunch time for artists.
Yes.
Right. That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah.
I never watched this.
That one.
I watched it.
The Emoji Movie. Those two come out at the same time, and it was like
Around
the same story.
time. Yeah, just and then like all the Marvel stuff about what Disney does to the VFX artists. Anyway, it was apparently not a good situation.
I have not. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, because you watched it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a movie that's completely around the idea that sausages look like dicks, and that's like all they really have.
It's basic,
and then a bun looks like a vagina, and that's it.
It's a lot of food fucking each other.
Right.
So if you think that's funny, then you're in for a treat.
It feels like
if you just think it's kind of off-putting and weird after a while,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, even this trailer, I was just like, wait, the premise is that the food took over and they've controlled the world, but they don't know how to deal with rain and they're all dying.
right.
That is the premise
it's
of the
nonsense.
movie. It's like, wait, I don't...
And they go up in people's butts to possess them, I guess.
yeah.
This is why where it feels like weed should be credited as a writer. And like that's for good or it's for better or for worse. You know, where I'm
good
like,
and
I
bad,
haven't
yeah.
seen it. I guess Edward Norton is in this.
He
Sam
is.
Richardson's in this,
He is
and so
doing
I'm
a
like,
Woody Allen impression in the previous movie as well. So Edward Norton is just sticking with a Woody Allen
Wow.
impression in the year of our Lord 2024.
oh fuck. Sam Richardson's in this, but he's in a lot of things. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I like him,
He
but
was in that stupid ass The Tomorrow War or whatever.
he sure was, which is wild.
Yeah, so
I forgot.
I like him, but he's just in things.
I don't need to see everything he's in.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Not everything he's in is great.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think I don't feel anything towards this. I have completely skipped out of Sausage Party.
I didn't hate it, but it's not a movie I would ever recommend to anybody because it's just it's like so going for it. Where it kind of starts to get like, you remember how violent the Michael Bay Transformers movies are, and they sort of use the excuse that they're robots,
Yeah.
but
Right.
there's still like oil and like bones and viscera somehow in a robot. It's like that, but with food.
Is
Right.
who is the audience for this movie? Like,
That's an excellent question. I
think
don't know.
Teenagers. It's a series. It's on Amazon. I think I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it just looks juvenile, which doesn't mean it's bad. I like a lot of juvenile things.
There are funny parts in it. Like I
Yeah.
laughed pretty heartily a few times in that movie, but it's just gross at the end of the day, honestly.
Right.
It's a little too much. I don't know.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like I was thinking of like I don't know, Meet the Feebles, like with those weird like or like the Greasy Strangler, where it's like I like that there's weird, gross shit. I just don't always. This feels like it's in this weird. Like if this was like weird in stop motion, I might like it more.
oh, yeah.
Like it's also got this like cheap ass animation where it just looks kind of like corporate but also gross, I guess, where it just I don't know. But again, I don't know. I haven't seen either of them, so I feel like I can't judge them.
Well, I'm judging
fair.
them.
That's fair.
I can.
They don't look good.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
The first one wasn't great, so
Yeah. Well, that's it for our trailers.
sweet. Let's
Ending on Sausage Party. Let's thank some more producers, shall we?
do it.
Thank you to David Knife Boot
Knife
Henson. Thank you to Deborah's awesome. Barbara's great, and cancer can go to hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Discount Ninjas Inc. Now through November, get 3 Mauve Ninjas with every purchase of $18.75 or more.
Oh.
I don't know if that's real. Thank you to Dracula the Bus Driving Vampire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Driftless. Lord of the Wasteland wants you to just walk away.
Just walk away.
Thank you to Ed Nugg.
Thank you.
Thank you to Exploding Rooms.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Funky G. Mostly comes out at night. Mostly.
Thank you.
Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Highlander. Likes the way Tom says pretty sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Hombre.
Thank you so much. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to ImpossibleWorlds.net, a magazine, and there's a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to Jay the Crow Baron says, build a guillotine in rich people's yard, 2024.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to Chris Shanovich.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lieutenant Frank Drebin, Police Squad.
Thank you.
Thank you to Look Mime on a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to I Lost My Place. Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick chill.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mercurial Oz.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mike the Helldiver.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mongolian Throat Skanking.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Tell Your Wife how many Patreon subscriptions you have before you agree to buy a house.
Thank you.
News stories.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
We did it. So they're making Practical Magic 2?
Sure.
Yeah.
Has anybody here seen Practical Magic 1?
I feel like I did when I was really little, and I don't remember much about it.
I've seen it.
They get them back.
I've seen it a few times. It's one of Marina's favorite movies, or at least it was when she was younger.
I thought it was really fun. It's one of those movies. It's kind of from what I remember, it had that Fried Green Tomatoes vibe, where you sit down and then you go, "Wow, this was darker than I thought it was going to be." Because I believe they bring someone back from the dead. Did I get that right?
Yeah,
There's
it's
a zombie
it's
in
an old
it?
boyfriend. Yeah, there is a zombie involved. Aiden Quinn's police badge has to help them defeat the zombie. It's a whole thing.
Right. That's fucking weird. That's real weird. I don't know. As long as they get back everybody, I don't want to see like some knockoff ass Practical Magic. Like I want to see Nicole Kidman and fucking Sandra Bullock bringing more people back from the
Are
dead.
they going to bring more people back from the dead?
Yeah.
They better.
They fucking better. I want it to. Yeah. And it ends with them being like accepted by spoilers for Practical Magic, accepted as witches, right?
Kind of, sort of. I think. I think so. Yeah, they should resurrect people from other movies.
Yeah, they should do Practical Magic v Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Oh, my first thought was like bringing back people from the dead. I was just like the Wonder Woman movie, which was really creepy.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah,
they did
that
it.
fucked
God,
up
that was
Wonder
weird.
Woman movie.
Oh man.
They just used that guy's body for a
Yeah,
while.
bring back Chris Pine in Practical Magic too.
Yeah,
Do it.
Put
Who
him in the
cares?
body of some dude. That movie was fucked
That
up.
was a really
It was really
bonkers
bad.
ass film.
It was
Holy
really
cow.
Yeah. Apparently, they almost made a spin-off series. I think it's very funny because, like, I'm so happy that this is coming back. But it's one where you're just like, really? I didn't know there was a demand for that. All right, cool. Practical Magic 2, let's go.
Yeah, let's
like
do
it's
it.
that where it's like I was perfectly happy with there only being one Practical Magic.
But now
It's-
there's two?
Is it going
Yeah,
to just be
it's
called Practical Magic 2? Or are they not going to come up with like a
Even more practical.
clever name for it?
Impractical magic.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah, fucking
15
weird.
minute spell to crack an egg.
This was revealed on TikTok. So I don't know. I don't know what to feel about that.
Sure. Hopefully Nicole gets another Nobel Prize or whatever she wants, Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah. Other news, they're making a new Wallace and Gromit,
They are.
and they're bringing back Feathers McGraw. They're bringing back the most fucking notorious villain. I still remember this fucking bird. Is it what? I forget what kind of. Is it a penguin? No, it's like a duck. It's got little feet.
I got nothing. I've never
I'm
seen
trying to
Wallace and
remember
Gromit.
Feathers McGraw.
What? Tom, you never seen Wallace and Gromit?
I've never seen a single one of these animators'
This is your
cartoons.
Paddington.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, Feathers McGraw, the penguin with the gun.
Yeah, the wrong trousers, right? That's what this one is from. Holy shit, Tom! You gotta see Wallace and Gromit. Like, it's so delightfully British.
Well, yeah.
In this, like, yeah. Fuck, man. Is it the wrong trousers?
Yes,
is
it
that
is,
the
it
one?
is,
Is
it
it
is.
the
That is a
penguin?
title of one, yeah.
The penguin controls. It's not a penguin. I shouldn't call it a penguin.
I think it is a penguin, though.
Oh, I thought so. I thought it was an imposter. So like we think it's a penguin. I don't want to spoil it.
Then don't.
But I haven't seen it in a while. You should see that one, the moon one. I always remember the moon one. Where they go to the moon to get trees. And they almost forget the crackers.
And there is a
Man.
there is a movie, right?
I mean, these are movies as far as I'm concerned, but I guess they are
They're
short
very
films.
short, yeah.
We used to watch them. You know, it was one of such childhood fucking memories of watching these. I mean, there was that thing going around recently. People were talking about how like Spielberg and a few other directors were talking about The Wrong Trousers has one of the best action sequences in it. And it does. It really does. The train sequence is so good. And you watch that sequence, you go like, oh yeah, I guess this is probably inspired Spielberg, like with Tintin and stuff like that, of doing like cartoon action.
That's pretty
Tom,
cool.
you gotta
I need to
shit
get in on this. Yeah, I gotta watch me some Wallace and Gromit.
And this is a big deal. Like this, the return of this.
Is it going to be done in like old school like claymation still? Or are they going to be
Oh
like?
well, yeah, I think 100%. I don't think they're.
I
What it
hope
looks like
so.
anyway. And the
Well,
latest
because you know
I
you
think
can make CGI look like claymation now, and you
Right.
could kind of mess with it. And I'm just like, oh, but I hope they keep it.
It's from the original creators, and so it's. I think they're just fucking doing it. I don't know. I hope.
Cool.
Yeah, this is. I don't know. I got to go back and watch me some older Wallace and Gromit now. This is delightful. It's the most British thing. Like, it's the most British thing in the world. I'm almost certain. Like, it is. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sure there's
it's like getting slapped by the Queen.
Yeah, it's like if you want to become a British citizen, I assume watching these is part of that process.
Every question on the British citizenship test is about Wallace and Gromit.
Yes. But yeah, it's exciting. Any other thoughts on this?
No, I'm just really glad it's stop motion. Like I heard they were also bringing back Gumby like as a cartoon TV show.
Oh fuck!
But it's not.
That'd be nuts.
But they're not doing stop motion. It's just going to be a cartoon.
Well, then that's 90% of the reason anybody cared about Gumby.
Right. Right. So I was just like,
he's a Gumby.
Yeah, he's a Gumby. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a picture of what it looks like. It's like being done by like Bento Box, which Bento Box did Bob's Burgers. So I'm like, it'll look good, but it's not stop motion.
Yeah, it's sort of like
Really,
I get
really
it because
taking the
it's
charm away from that thing.
Yeah.
I get it because it's probably like really fucking hard to keep making stop motion every goddamn week. Oh, I'm seeing it. Yeah, it's like the opposite of stop motion.
Yeah, it's a cute cartoon. Like it's gonna be for kids. It's gonna be for like littles. So it makes sense. But
I had this with Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, where I was like, how hard is it to do hand puppets? You know, like why did they make that? It's the Mr. Rogers Puppet World spin-off show. At least make them hand puppets, right? Like, why wouldn't you? That's cheap. It's cheaper to make it probably the land of make-believe the way Mr. Rogers threw it together.
Yeah, it was just a room, and then they just
they
it
was just like
bounced.
his basement.
It wasn't even good puppets. I don't think their mouths moved. It was just flopping
they did
hands.
not. They were just,
dare I say, slightly unhinged. Like if it wasn't Mr. Rogers doing it, if it was just like some guy, I would feel uncomfortable watching it.
He wanted you to. He wanted that.
Yeah.
For you. Let's move on.
Let's thank some more producers,
do it.
shall
Yep.
we? Big ol' thank you to musical guest Darius Rucker.
Thank you.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Pete Forpagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino Ultramicroscopic Silico Volcanoconiosis Disestablishment Terrorism Jones. Don't know why I stumbled from that. Thank you to pre-order Jason Partridge's new book so he can keep making big feats. Thank you. Thank you to Psychic Bigfoot.
Thank you.
Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Rosemary's Baby from Eraserhead. Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Thank you.
Thank you to Sorry Cop, world's most laughable centrist.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Steven.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, let me swoop in here. Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Thank you.
Thank you to the ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Midnight Patron with patrons at midnight.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Municipal Medicinal Arsonist.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Oatmeal Savage.
Thank
you to the To Be Terror Bunny thinks you could use more Rutger Hauer in your media diet.
And how?
And Hauer. Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tiger Drawers, Pratt Thompson, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Thank
you
you
to Tux.
Tux.
Thank you to Vincent.
Thank you.
Why don't you take a flying fuck at the moon?
Hey, thanks.
Thank you to Yorgos from the island of Crete.
Thank you.
And last but not least, thank you to your mom.
Thanks.
Dave.
Yeah, what? What's up?
Dave.
Yeah. What? What's up?
Where's the fucking movie that deserves more hype?
I got it right here. I got it right here, buddy. By the way, I had a neighbor who did puppet shows at my apartment complex. I never went to it. He was like a stoner.
That was probably
was
good
like-
that you didn't go to it.
Well, one of my roommates did. He said it was, in fact, very disturbing. It was a very disturbing experience. Listen,
was
I want
alarming.
to tell you guys. Yeah, I want to tell you guys about Memoir of a Snail. This is coming out probably fall of this year. It's not set in stone. This is a stop motion film by a director who made a short called Harvey Crumpet, which was like in the 2000s. It won an Oscar for best animated short. It was also stop motion, and this is not for kids. It's or at least it doesn't seem like it is. It's a very dark stop motion story about, I believe, an old person telling a story about their life and their childhood, and it's like a little like mythologized, and they befriend an old lady played by Jackie Weaver from what is it, Animal Kingdom? Am I
Yes,
thinking the right
yes,
word?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's fucking great. She won an Academy Award as well.
She's also
Eric
in the New
Bana's in
Grudge.
there. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, Eric
weird.
Bana is in there.
This is almost all visual. If you've watched you have to watch the trailer.
It does look beautiful.
It's kind of a Wallace and Gromit and Tim Burton mix.
A little bit. Did you guys?
A little Coraline in there.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Finish
No.
your pitch, Dave.
I shouldn't say Tim Burton. I should say who's the fucking guy who actually made
Henry
Nightmare Before
Selick.
Christmas. Henry Selick. It's a Henry Selick. It feels like Henry Selick. It looks pretty dark in that, like, a lot of the reviews seem to say that it's just like Eric Bana is described in this Hollywood Reporter review as a homeless alcoholic voiced by Eric Bana, is in fact a former magistrate defrocked for masturbating in court. And so it's like, okay, so I guess that's not a kid's movie.
No.
He was Jeff Tubin.
It says this is unlikely to be a parent-improved entertainment for young children, is what they say.
Oh man, this
But
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, and I think the old lady collects snails, I believe, is why it's called Memoir of a Snail. But what were you gonna say?
I was going to ask if either of you had ever seen that movie Miri and Max,
No.
No.
because this reminds me a lot of it.
Okay.
It's an Australian movie, so it's another Australian movie.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
animated very close to the style, and it's basically about just a young girl who starts a pen pal relationship with this old man, just like randomly. She was just writing letters to see who would respond to her.
Okay.
And it's adult. It just has kind of a similar vibe and look to it. So I'm wondering if there's any connection between those two films. But anyway, I
Maybe,
got
I don't know.
major Miri and Max vibes from this. It looks good. Like I'm really
Yeah.
into this.
Like, I'm definitely intrigued. I want more stuff like this. I want more animation for grown-ups.
Right,
And-
because it's. Oh, sorry. You go.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, it has the vibe of kids stuff, but like in the trailers, where the old woman calls someone a dickhead, and you're like, and then like it still has like the whimsy of a kids movie, but like for dark things. There's a line apparently where when the character's name is Grace and her twin brother, and in her story, her mom died at childbirth, and she uses the phrase, we left her womb, she entered her tomb, which is such a whimsical description of that. Like, it has that, like, children's whimsy, but it's an adult story, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I want more Western animation to like realize that, like, you don't stop liking, like, it's just the medium, it's not the genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cartoons don't have to be for
Right,
kids.
yeah.
There's no rule that says
No.
that. And to watch a stop motion, I'm trying to think of the last stop motion. There was the one that Dan Harmon produced. I don't know why I'm using that as the milestone for that. Anomalisa, I want to say.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I'm trying to think of like Kubo and the
Oh,
Two
that's
Strings.
Laika, yeah. That studio.
Right. They're few and far in between.
Yeah, I looked, and I mean, Laika, unfortunately, they lose money on every movie they put out
Yeah.
since their first one, Coraline.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's Mary and Max, not Miri and Max, but it was directed by this guy. It was his movie.
Oh, there you go.
It was his first movie.
All right. So yeah, it looks a lot like that because it's made by that guy. So was that good?
Max, Mary and Max is excellent.
Okay.
It's like really. I mean, it's it's got Philip Seymour Hoffman, Toni Collette, Eric Bana's in it again.
Oh fuck. Okay, yeah. So this person makes again. They feel like whimsical, like it feels like in the style of stop motion, in that it's like because I think this is like a story being told. So like I think the use of stop motion is really great for that because whenever an old person tells a story, filled with lies, old people are liars. And so, like, there's this mythologizing of your story, right? And so, using stop motion to do that is a very good idea.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know, like there's a shot in this where they're on like a roller coaster, and it's like this rickety ass roller coaster and stuff like that.
What was that movie? Is it Big Fish or something like that? Where it's like someone telling a story, but it's like clearly like
fantastical. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also about how old people are liars. Yeah. And this one, the story starts where she says like, people don't remember things as a kid. I remember everything right from the start, and they show him in the womb, and you're like, oh shit, all right. So yeah, it's just old person lying spectacularly.
Sweet. Catch it.
Yeah, I at least watched the trailer. Memoir of a Snail. The moment you watch the trailer, if you're into animation, if you're one of them perverts who like animation, this is for you.
Go watch it.
Go watch it.
And watch Mary and Max. It's an excellent movie. Yeah. And with that, I think that's a sode!
Woo!
We've done it! Woo! Star, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anytime. I love being on.
Star, are you caught up with Delicious in Dungeon?
Of course I am. Except I guess like the one from yesterday. I haven't watched that.
Oh, there's a new one. Okay, I gotta watch that one as well.
The first season's gonna be done, I think, next week or the week after.
Okay.
But just to hype, this is my little last hype thing. They're getting a season 2 that was announced, and that was a very big deal because the studio that produces that anime notoriously does not do season 2s. So they are doing their first season 2, and it's for Delicious in Dungeon, and that's very exciting.
I got Hana the art book. There's like an art book that from the manga that it's not in English, but you can get it on eBay. It's really cool. It just has all like original, like different designs for the characters and stuff.
Yeah, the artist, I forget her name. It's Ryoko Kui, female mangaka. She's fantastic. It's all D&D related. Go watch Delicious in Dungeon. It's great.
What else do you want to plug? Anything that's you're up to?
My stuff again, like starlinearts.com. Please go buy my artwork. That would be the main thing. Yeah.
Buy art. Okay. Dave, tell us some
stuff. Art. We have a Patreon, Tom. It's patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. GAMEFULOY unemployed. We have exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek the Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. We also watch movies every Friday night with our patrons. What are we gonna watch tonight? You'll have to join to find out.
Maybe Sausage
It's a
Party.
Secret.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs. You can get on t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all sorts of things. So slap your little sausage peepers onto that. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Later.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. Find him on Twitter at @thecorlew or go to shipwrecksailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Episode artwork is by Justin Brown. Available on Twitter as @JustinTBrown or at artnessbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork by Starline Hodge. You can find her work at starlinearts.com or Twitter @StarlineX. Goodbye now.